Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Love to Live podcast version. This time, what I'd like to talk about is some relation between happiness and English skill. So the title, as the title shows, this time the title or in this time of in this episode the title is can you become happier if you acquire English language and and in the conclusion, the answer is in the conclusion, shown the answer, and in the conclusion, I'm telling you the answer. And the conclusion is no, being happy and having English skill are not directly related. And you can understand. And to start with, so for example, if you, maybe most of the frequent listeners of my podcast are American or European people living in advanced European countries, Western advanced European countries, and anyway, but actually, for, which is why you can understand. But actually, so if you acquire skill of speaking English, for example, that doesn't directly bring you to happier situations. Anyways, what I have just told you is really weird. So speak English skill doesn't give you any happiness to start with, which is a presumable condition, and that is because that is really obvious, So, but what I'm creating this episode, but I don't think I don't think I should tell you this one because that is too obvious that there's no relation. Maybe there's almost a few literal relation between skill of English language and acquisition of the skill of English language and your happiness. And because to start with, your happiness comes from, or your happiness stems from, for example, the human relationships around you, and your and for example, such happinesses you have come from, for example, your friendships or the relationships among your family members and your incomes. And of course, how English language is involved into happiness is, for example, so for example, if you acquire English language, and if your income if your income rose, for example, and you could get more disposable incomes, so you can be, so some people may feel that situation, may find that situation happier, which is how happinesses and English skills are related. So, I'm sorry for my complicated explanation, but actually, so what I'd like you to understand is that, so the command of English language or the skill of English language and your happinesses are not directly related. And, anyway, so for example, maybe you're thinking about the fact that you are listening to my podcast, or if thinking about the fact that so you are listening to this episode of my podcast, I think you have some higher proficiencies in English language. So which is why I think you can understand that so you may or you might have found your own lives happier after the acquisitions of English languages. But actually, so that is because you could get higher incomes. That is because you acquired, or you mastered English languages. And if you understand English language fully enough, or if you understand the English language sufficient enough, to some sufficient levels, or sufficiently enough. And so the thing is really complicated. And so for example, so if you'd like to get some evidences, or some evidences of statistics by creating some question by doing some investigations, and by creating some questionnaires, like comparing two groups of people, and one group one group of people have higher proficiencies of English language, and the other group of people have lower proficiencies of English language. And if you compare those two groups, I think, and I can understand that, the future shows that, the former group the former group of people having higher proficiencies of English language would feel that their lives are really happier, and I see I can easily understand that, the latter group or the later group of people who have lower proficiencies of English language would find their own lives, for example, sad, or not happier, or not so happy, like that. Well, I think those people with lower proficiencies of English language would find their lives boring, not boring, boring, boring anyway. If you do so, if you're possible to create statistical results, for example, but the results of such investigations would be obvious. But actually, that is because, for example, people who can understand who can understand English language tends to live in, for example, richer countries. But actually, so maybe you can understand that, acquiring English language doesn't lead you to happier lives. And, after what I'd like you to know this time is that, after mastering English language, or after getting sufficient levels of English language, there are many things you have to do. Like, for example, so it's all right. It's all right not to think about the performances in your workplaces. So, for example, after mastering English language, it can be possible for you to get some boyfriends or girlfriends living in some English speaking nations. For example, you may be able. It's possible that you may be able to date some British boys or British girls with really so gentle personalities, or kind characteristics. So it can be possible. So by doing which you can become happier. So but actually, that is because that happiness stems from dating such boys and British boys and girls with higher, not with higher, not with gentle characteristics and personalities, or bright personalities, with native levels of English language. Like which, so English language is not directly related to happinesses, and so involve or bringing or making this discussion involves the performances of your workplaces, for example, or the performances in your schools. So so after acquiring the English language, so what you have to do is to, for example, take higher scores in examinations in schools, and what you have to do in your workplaces is to accomplish difficult works. What you have to do is to raise your performances in your workplaces, like which, so English language is not directly related to happiness. English language is not directly related to your happinesses. So if you do, so which is why, so if you'd like to become happier, well, I think to start with, I think you should focus on becoming happier to start with, not of, and so if you'd like to become happier, and if you need English language to become happier, it's fine to study English language. But actually, what I'd like you to know this time is that English language and being happier are not directly related, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So the title is, can you become happier if you acquire English language? And the conclusion is, no, being happy and having English skill are not directly related, which is what I'd like you to know this time. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.